What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be predicting the win totals for the NFC East: Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, New Jersey Giants, and Washington Commanders. I'm wearing an Eagles jersey. Take everything I say about the Philadelphia Eagles with a grain of salt, unless I'm using like actual logic. But yeah, if nobody knew at this point, the Eagles are my favorite team. So I've been waiting on this one. These guys got their favorite teams out the way in the same episode. Now it's my time to shine. But there's not as much disagreement banter because we kind of all got players on the Eagles that we like. Maybe the Cowboys is probably where we disagree at because I'm Dak and CD believer. Whatever the case may be, before we get into the episode, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're listening to this on audio platforms, make sure you leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode if you really enjoyed it. And of course, as always, Danny's going to get us kicked off with Summits and Plummets.
Yeah, I'm going to start with my Plummet, actually. My laptop is like 4 or 5 years old, and it's like acting like it's been through like war crimes. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, the laptop is acting, it's been tortured. It's been put in Deshaun Watson chamber.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what happens when you try to download Philly's locker room behind the scenes footage onto your computer, man. You're going to get viruses. You're going to get bugs.
Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber making out.
Like when the thing says local milfs near you, you're not supposed to click it. Hope you know that.
Crazy how you said that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with my summit. Is that it looks like we are down to a day or two left in this Brandon Ayuk saga. Whether it becomes a Pittsburgh Steeler or he stays in the Niners, I'm glad for it to be over.
Yeah. The Patriots made a trade today. So it is proof that trades are allowed. Someone should tell the Niners that they're legal. You can do them. But,
John Lynch, you can surrender a little bit. You don't have to be, well, she's my fan. She's my pick, so I'm not trading.
Yeah, and people are gonna like give Ayuk the diva label forever because of this, but dude is far from it. If anything, like even as the way he plays, like Ayuk has never been a guy to care about. He actually used to be a guy who cared about, touches and wanting the ball, and they were like, "Well, dude, you have to block," and then he became like one of the best blocking receivers in the NFL. But like in terms of this situation, yeah, there's a lot to weigh here. California taxes, Pennsylvania taxes, who's going to be throwing you the ball, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that he's being I wouldn't say he's being a diva, me personally. But, people are going to give him that label. Once you do anything that, favors your odds or puts you on a pedestal above someone else, you're immediately going to get that label. So, but we can move to Chris for his S&Ps, P's, and Q's.
Yeah, so my plummet is NFL, and I'm going to say why. Every time I open up Twitter, somebody else has a devastating injury, not a rolled ankle, not a jammed finger. It's ACLs torn. I'm just like, bro, no way. And it's like right before the season started. Like the Vikings especially, like they've been going through it this offseason for so many reasons. But seeing Jordan Addison get hurt today, I'm like, holy shit. Like what is going on? So that's been my plummet. Like every year when it comes to training camp and whatever the case may be, or like preseason stuff like that, in all sports, obviously not just football, but like it seems like so many good players always miss a good chunk of the year or might miss a chunk of the year just from preseason stuff. So just that sucks to see. So that's probably my plummet for this week. My summit is that WNBA basketball is back tomorrow. And I'm happy about that. It's 10 games throughout the weekend. And I'll get to see the best basketball player on the planet, boys and girls, Asia Wilson, play. So I'm excited about that. And
Yo, I'm gonna tell you one thing. A hamstring tear is worse than an ACL tear.
I was gonna say I feel like that is true.
Dude,
I feel
I've had both. The ACL is nothing compared to them.
okay, my summit's over, so now I have to ask a question. Did you tear your hamstring on the same knee? Same leg you tore
Yeah,
your ACL?
yeah, they're actually correlated.
I'm about to say that's what I'm about to say. Okay.
So a hamstring injury, usually if you have an ACL tear, they usually ask you if you had a hamstring injury before.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Danny did not take care of his hamstrings. I'm just gonna be the first to let y'all know.
Then he was freestyling out there.
None of that. Didn't work on his hips. Was going out there like 2024 Jason Tatum, looking stiff as a board, trying to play the receiver position, man.
Hey man, it worked until it didn't. I got hurt in the
Did it work?
offseason.
Did it work?
You got hurt in the offseason? Doing
Yeah.
what? Like training?
He did. He was trying to run a dig.
And then I was trying to run a dig, and then I was cool for 6 months, and then I was hooping with the D1 hoopers at Penn. Shout out Clark Schlager, who's playing at USC now, point guard. And I went for a chase down block, did not work. That was cooked.
Oh my god, bro! That
Try to
sounds
go
like
for a
horrible.
chase
Like what
down
happened?
block.
Dude, I was playing with some D1 hoopers, and they're going.
It's just like, why? What did you think? Were you gonna glass it? Like, what was,
Probably.
I-
Danny Cole we're talking about, Tone. You don't know.
I'd be shocked if Danny could touch backboard.
I didn't glass it, but I did block it.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. You shattered your knee instead.
I did. I blocked him still. He missed it.
Okay. Shout out to you, I guess. Shout out to you, man. Yep. Shout out to him as always. Summit, man. Women's basketball is back, but I don't want to steal that. Something I've been thinking about. I want to make a bad faith argument. Brianna Stewart was robbed for Olympic MVP. Super bad faith argument just because she's on my team. I gotta have it. Second bad faith argument. Kelsey Plum, stop running from the grind. Go take Puerto Rico to the Olympics. I don't care. She's not beating the dude. I don't care. She's not beating the allegations. Go take Puerto Rico to the goddamn Olympics. Even though she said
she got the same allegations I got for Kyrie. Kyrie, go take Australia.
Yes. Why didn't he do it? Why did he not do it? You got stuff.
I'm telling you.
You got robbed from Team USA because political reasons. You did post a link. I'm not gonna say what's on the link because I like Kyrie. So, but he should have just went and ran it with Australia, bro. Him and Patty Mills would have been so tough.
Him and Josh Giddey
could have slid Giddey. Yeah, you could have slid the Kidler at the 3. Oh my God, we're looking at a team.
It is it's crazy.
The Kidler is so funny. That's better than the Giddler. That's better than all of them. The Kidler is
the
Kidler. Yo,
they said he's a Diddy disciple.
The Rizzler on TikTok is really the funniest person of all time.
Yeah, bro, he's the next core of brain rot. It used to be Baby Gronk. The Rizzler has officially taken over as the next brain rot staple.
I feel bad for
Big
Baby
Justice
Gronk.
and all them.
Yo, Chris.
Yeah, free Baby Gronk, man.
Tell me I'm wrong. The Rizzler like is something you see in your dream that like you don't want to see ever again.
What? Dude, he's just a kid. Oh my God. He's just that's someone's son, man.
He's goated, but he looks like a scary creature in your dream or something.
Dude, I had no clue who the Rizzler was because like Big Justice, like I used to watch their Costco videos. Like they're pretty funny. Not like all the way through, but like, we're Costco guys. Like I would probably watch like first
chocolate cookie.
Yeah, bro. When they went in Blink, I'm kind of concerned. And then I saw they were linking with a Rizzler. I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, this is peak brain rot. Not gonna lie.
This is peak crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Summit though. Man. Let's start with a Plummet. I get these jerseys for extremely low dollar. Okay, so I have no complaints. The numbers on the 111 are slightly uneven, and I feel like only I could probably tell. Like in just the moment I put it on, it's not like too crazy. you'd have to like probably stare at me like an uncomfortably long amount of time to realize it, to the point where I'm like probably calling the police. But yeah, just something I know. Look, again, I paid $60 for this, dude. I don't care. Um, but I do have to walk out of here with a Summit. I can't think of anything. You know what? Summit is we live to see another day. I won a championship in my last year in my Temple rebuild, and I took the Texas A&M job.
Yo, Chris, ready?
It-
We were on the way to the gym, and he called it his Texas A&M rebuild. He didn't call it his Temple rebuild.
It's the Texas
cooked
A&M
himself.
rebuild now.
He cooked himself.
It's
He
the
gave up
Texas
on them
A&M
boys.
I gave up on. I gave him 2 fucking titles. How about you rebuild Penn? Rebuild Penn.
They're not in the game.
Oh wait, because your
What
team
am I gonna-
sucks.
Am I going to rebuild FCS Northeast?
Yeah, team builder.
Yeah, do it.
You put them in there, and you go.
You put them in the game.
Yo, shout out to the craziest people who build the craziest teams.
But some
I
crazy
see
shit in
like
the team builder.
racist
Some crazy shit in there.
teams. I see
Some
like
crazy in there.
some. You see the craziest things, craziest fields.
I will say the
Yeah,
Taco
bro, I
Bell
saw,
team
like,
with the Baja Blast field is kind of lit. That's kind
Yo,
of fire.
That's right.
What's-
I saw like
yo.
Walmart versus Target. Like,
That's hard too. Like I like
what
that.
teams are y'all taking over? Like Georgia and Bama?
Yes, yes,
McDonald's.
yes.
McDonald's versus Wendy's.
Bro, the Wendy's field with the Baja Blast color field. I mean, the Wendy's team, not Wendy's, Taco Bell team with the Baja Blast field. That's probably
Would
my
Taco
favorite.
Bell face Pizza Hut because they're always in like those joint locations? The Pizza Hut,
What?
Taco Bell.
Why is that?
I don't know.
That's weird.
They're always linked. Danny knows. There used to be a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell near us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's one
I
out here.
don't know why. But
And it's a KFC merchant too. It's KFC and it's always like a what the fuck's the place? The A&W place, like the root beer thing, but I don't know if they sell it.
yeah,
What else do they
Root beer.
sell in there? I've never been in there.
it's so fire. I love that place.
Oh.
Oh, shout out to it. I wanted to show you because I'm on my phone today. My setup.
Buddy,
Shout
your
out
team
to
is
them.
not in the football game.
That's my jersey. What do you mean?
You will not see Danny Cole Jr. in the football game, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm Britton Covey. What you mean?
Brad Covey. Oh my god. That British bastard. I don't even think he's British. I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
definitely just white.
No. I have no clue. I don't know. Britton Covey. I don't know.
5'8", played in the Pac-12.
Yeah, dude, I have no idea. I didn't even know he went to college, but
He went to Utah, dude. He was a go-to returner.
on every single episode, you will see me wearing some kind of hat, whether it's a snapback, whether it's a dad style hat. I always got to have something to complete the outfit. And the only place where I get my hats is lids.com. Lids.com has so many different brands, and of course, they have a bunch of different styles. Like I just said, it could be dad hat, snapback, it could be fitted, it could be Velcro back. Whatever you want, they got it. And with the NFL season coming up, I know you're going to want to rock and represent your favorite squad. Me personally, I'm a big Eagles guy, and I love this 47 brand throwback hat that I got from lids.com. Or if you're more of a snapback guy, I also got this NBA champions Boston Celtics new era cap from lids.com as well. If you like either of those hats and you feel like you want one to represent your squad, click the link in the description below. Whether it's new era or 47, both links will take you right to lids.com. And the best thing about Lids, they always have some type of deal going on their website. So make sure you click that link and check out any deals they got going on at lids.com. Oh, yeah, that checks a lot of boxes that he went to Utah. But let's start with these division predictions. We're going to obviously go in the order of how the division was won, the standings last year. And we start with the Dallas Cowboys at 10.5 wins. The Cowboys in a super, I guess, sticky situation. The offseason was bad. I'm going to put it plain and simple. Two big additions offseason was defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer, which I won't underestimate. Like adding a already good defense.
I don't know, man. Mike Zimmer might be a subtraction after losing Dan Quinn.
No, 100% an upgrade. 100% an
better
upgrade
than
over Dan Quinn. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely a better defensive coordinator than Dan Quinn. Especially after that. I don't know how you aren't. Like I don't know how you could see it otherwise. Dan Quinn absolutely laid an egg against a first-year starter in a playoff game at home.
I think
Absolutely
that's
laid an
LaFleur. I
egg.
think that's LaFleur beating him. I don't.
Okay, so Dan Quinn got beat by a young Shanahan disciple. What does that make it better that he got absolutely crapped on? Mike Zimmer rolled out consistently average to good defenses on a Vikings team that sometimes didn't always have the pieces. Sometimes had to roll out with Patrick Peterson in his twilight years at corner, or Harrison Smith, who was beyond solid forever. But
So Harrison Smith
it's
is one of them. One of them men.
yeah, bro. He's been one of them ones for a very long time. But we'd be lying if we said he's still one of the best in the game.
He needs to retire.
Anyway, here's the point that I'm getting at. They were 4th in defensive EPA last year, 5th in defensive dropback EPA, and 10th in defensive rush EPA. Adding Mike Zimmer, adding Eric Kendricks, who again, I'd be lying if I said he's still one of the best in the game. But that's the point I'm trying to make with how bad this offseason has been. Those are their 2 biggest moves. They have lost, and I'm not going to say I love all.
They
I'm not
get
going to say I
one of
love
the
all these
biggest
names.
players back. Trevon Diggs. They're getting Trevon Diggs back.
That's not an ad.
It's not an ad, but it's an ad.
That's not an
compared to
ad.
last
That's just
year.
your player. Like that guy's was on your team. He's just coming back from injury.
Yeah,
which
they're
that's
getting
not
him
an
back,
ad.
which is huge.
Sure, we'll talk about that later. Lost Tyron Smith, Tyler
BS.
Edazi, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Flower. Those 2 actually went in division. Actually, all 3 of those last names went in division, and Tyron
Dante
Smith was
Fowler
with
is
the Jets.
nice. Dante Fowler, tell you one thing, he was their pass rush specialist.
Yeah, and when we get to the Commanders, we'll definitely talk about him more because I agree. But despite all of that, they have their 3, actually arguably 4 best players need an extension. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence are all up for extensions.
Well, DeMarcus Lawrence not get one. He's like 31.
He's not going to get one. No. Some team's going to get him maybe on a 2-year deal, maybe get him for a solid 2 more seasons. I know Chris knows a team that loves signing
I
very,
can tell
very
y'all a
washed
team
players.
that loves 30-plus-year-olds over their day. I
No,
know a team.
specifically defensive ends. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then when you start to break it down by positional value, like CD needs it now, or he is not going to be a Cowboy, but he falls down the rankings when it comes to positional value and importance to the Cowboys.
CD might not be a Cowboy in 3 weeks if they don't pay.
That's what I'm getting at. But if they want him a part of their future, they got to pay him now, because otherwise he is not going to buy. I don't endorse holding out from like a health standpoint, yeah, but that's never like worked.
Get ready for AJ Brown Part 2.
I wasn't thinking AJ. Oh, you're.
Get ready for AJ Brown Part 2 if he gets traded, because
I'm thinking of the wrong A Brown. I'm like, why would he turn into a psychopath? But I'm thinking of Antonio Brown for whatever reason. But yeah, so I would say we can swing it to Danny first, since you had some opinions on a team. 10.5 wins. Can Dak and friends do it?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they can. I think they get 10 wins. I think this line's set perfectly. I think that a team is rolling out Ezekiel Elliott at their starting running back. Rico Dowdle is their backup. He might even start for them. CeeDee Lamb is not playing on his current contract conditions. If they don't pay him, they're going to be stuck out there with Dak, who needs an extension, with Micah, who needs an extension. Micah will play because he's still on the rookie deal. And, dude, all these guys are going to start getting infuriated when Jerry Jones is not going to pony up and pay them. And they're going to say, like, this sucks. I'm not trying to be in Dallas. And the season's going to implode right in front of their face. And also, let's not mince the words. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback option for this team. And he is a top 10 quarterback in this league. So if they don't pay him and he gets hurt, and he's been hurt a few times in his career so far, if he gets hurt, they will not win more than 8 games.
I would say if he gets hurt and you don't pay CD, oh, brother, you're not winning 5 games.
That's what I'm
like. When I say
7,
Dak and friends, it is literally Dak and friends and Jake Ferguson. But
Jake Ferguson is nice. I was going
to all agenda team. Just gonna let y'all know now. I send it to y'all. To anyone watching, Jake Ferguson is on Antonio Perez's all agenda team this season.
Chris,
shout out.
In the week leading up to the season, we'll do an all agenda team where we do Super Bowl picks, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, all that stuff. But then we're gonna drop our all agenda team.
Oh, I love a
All
good all agenda team. Oh, I got
all
so many
agenda
players.
team.
Wait, and then
Here's the thing. I'm trying to
an
avoid a lot of
an
rookies,
all
but
sticky team too.
all hating team.
All
Oh,
stinkers.
woo.
Chris got
I'm
plenty.
quarterback right now. Oh boy.
I really want to do that for the NBA. I
Oh
really
my
want to do
god.
because
Can we
I
do
think
15 players?
Chris knows who's front and center of the all agenda NBA team. It's Mr. RJ Barrett, man. It's Mr. RJ Barrett.
No,
Let's talk
Emmanuel
about it.
All
quickly,
hate
man.
team. I'll be pushing the opposite agenda.
Quickly.
All right,
Quickly better.
okay. Well, we could push RJ Barrett agendas another day. We have to get back to the Cowboys here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So no, we're good. We all got off topic. We're good. So going to you, Chris. So Danny has under the 10.5 wins.
At 10.
And like you said, you're a Dak injury away from just being a bad team. You're potentially a CeeDee Lamb holdout from being a bad team. What are your expectations for the Cowboys? And is there a possibility they will have to learn Shador Sanders?
Oh boy. I don't know. All my troll hate about Dak aside, because I live in Dallas and I love to pain these fans. Dak is top 10, like Danny said. And he, one thing he is stable. And that's one thing I respect about quarterbacks with all the stuff moving around him. He's a stable piece, and I always respect that about him. And saying that, even with all of them and CD back, I think they were probably 12 wins max. That's my thought process on this Cowboys team. So I think with the uncertainty of that, the uncertainty of all these people, like Danny said, that need to be paid, like there's no person like a person who's hungry for a contract and also a person who feel like they're being starved of it. And we've seen that in all sports. And if it gets to that latter side, then it can get really ugly. Just like Danny said, I think what Danny said is pretty much how I'm feeling. I don't see 10 wins though. I think I see about 9. I think this is a down year for the Cowboys, and I think this forces them to make some top heavy changes. Not necessarily.
Get rid of Jerry Jones, top heavy.
I think something's gonna happen. I don't know if that's even possible. I think Jerry Jones will actually blow Dallas up as a whole. The whole city's gone. But I think I think some change will have to happen. I think this is a down year for the Cowboys. I got them hovering around 8 to 9 wins, regardless of what happens with CD. And
let me ask you, since we are in the crummy NFC, does 10/9 wins get them?
I think
in
it makes the playoff. I think it does.
Okay.
I think I don't know if it's wild card. I don't know how it is, but I think it gets them in.
It's
there.
definitely a wild card. Yeah,
I think it gets them in there. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But shout out to Jerry Jones, though. I know Chris knows this. I don't know if Tony knows it. Jerry Jones kind of really built up the Dallas community surrounding the Cowboys. And he invested a lot of money into like the Dallas community. So
Yeah, and the place I hoop at Green Hill, his nephew went there, and dude, you should see it. Like his nephew only went there for 2 years, and the Jerry Jones stimulus package is better than the Drake stimulus package. Like it's OC in there. So shout out to Jerry Jones. And like I said, that's why I said, Danny, like he would literally blow. He's like Bane. If it happens, the whole field's gone. You got to build a new field, build a new whole stadium. Jerry Jones not going for that. But I think it's one of those years though, to where it's like they still make the playoffs, but they crawl in, and then you feel like you got to make some top heavy changes after that.
I think the Cowboys, being that sneaky 7th seed, could do well for their voodoo. I don't know.
their agenda.
Going in to San Francisco, getting a sneaky 7th seed win. I don't know. I actually have the over. I still have getting 11 wins because I'm going to be honest, that defense is going to do their thing. You have Micah Parsons, you have, DeMarcus Lawrence, who's probably, ending that prime, but still a very valid player. Devon Bland and Trevon Diggs are Deron Bland. Sorry.
Deron Bland, man, he stinks.
Well, they'll have Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs, who that already makes one of the best corner duos in the NFL. Safety work is suspect, but it was good enough last year. Still getting familiar with their safeties, but the defense is going to show up, do its thing.
This team is like a worse version of the Browns.
No, your team is a worse version of the Browns.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it is. Like it exactly is.
No, not even quite.
No, it is. It's like they have the better main star, and then they have a better defense, and their offense is somehow better with a woman toucher at quarterback. So, yeah.
Actually, he wanted he didn't touch the women. He wanted the women to touch him.
Yeah, a real
Yeah.
freak.
Yeah.
Real freaking
Yeah.
A real freak.
Yeah, real freakazoid, and he runs a better offense than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oof.
I
Well,
respect it.
Justin Fields over there now, so get ready to learn Steeler knees, buddy.
Steeler knees.
I have a take for later about Justin Fields. Okay, but before
I'll be ready to defend it.
way before we get to that point, I think the Cowboys can get 11 wins. I mean, as of right now, yeah, it doesn't look like CD, is gonna play. I don't think he's gonna hold out the whole season though. If him and Dak are on the field, that offense is still gonna be something to be reckoned with. Jake Ferguson came on super strong at the end of the year. I think he's one of Dak's favorite targets. I think he can definitely up his role in that offense. Running backs, um, I don't know. Hope y'all can pass block because they're going to be probably one of the worst rushing offenses in the NFL unless Dak turns back into like his year one self where he was like extremely efficient on the ground. But he hasn't been running since Michael Gallup stopped blocking for him and his
Bro,
leg turned into a
the
That was
last time
insane.
he
a
the last time he was
rotisserie.
running a lot, Alan Hearns was on the team. Be real.
Last time he was running a lot, you had COVID stands. So
You had Cole Beasley playing slot.
oh yeah, I'm out. Talking about Cole Beasley. Yeah, I'm out. No, but I'm still super high on the Cowboys. Yeah, everyone knows I'm a big Dak guy. Dak is probably the 7th through 9th, 7, 8, or 9th best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. If someone
That
wanted to
just
put him
like
at 6, I wouldn't complain.
that just relieved like
Wh-
so much Eagles bias that anyone could ever have on you. You just said
I
Dak
mean,
Prescott's the top 10
here's the
quarterback.
thing.
Dude, some Eagles fans
There's
think Dak sucks.
Yeah, no. So you are right. Like, oh, it's like, oh, look, I love when someone's not biased. On the flip side, though, you'll have Eagles fans being like, you're pandering so hard to Cowboys fans to make it look like you're not biased. I thought
No,
Dak's
you
been that
stop
guy.
it.
I thought Dak has been that guy since Mississippi
Yes.
State. He is super accurate with the football. He's poised, and plus, the most that I watch Dak is against the Eagles, and the Eagles make everybody look good. Or last year at least, and Dak always has looked good against Philadelphia. He's just like one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch.
Dude, the things that
When he's
Amari Cooper
when
would
he
do to the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah, like dude, when Dak had Amari, like that was just bad times. But Dak, look, I'll say this: when he's bad, he's bad. But when he's on fire, man, he can shoot it out with anybody.
I think sometimes he got a case of the one-re wonder.
Sometimes I can get down with that. Yeah, playoff game was bad, and those garbage time numbers will not fool me. But dude, in the regular season, I mean, he
So
was I don't know, he was
he
front
is
line for
precise.
MVP if he
He is
didn't lose some
precise.
games down the stretch.
He
I
puts the
thought like
ball up the seams correctly. He can lead receivers up and outside the sideline. And
nobody throws a better seam ball than him. Nobody
Dare I
throws a
say
better
it?
seam ball than Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott's better than Tony Romo.
Oh yeah, I've thought that for a while now.
Dare I say it? Y'all don't want to hear it, but
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's
No,
much better
and
than
that's
Tony
not,
Romo.
and that's
I
not.
have no problem with it. I have
You
no
don't got
problem
a
with it.
problem with it.
Anybody
Yeah,
in
no,
Dallas?
I think
The internet,
You don't want to hear
is
if we're
not gonna like
talking,
this.
I think if we're talking in terms of like ability in coordination to era, of course, I think it would go Staubach, and then I think it would go Prescott. I think Prescott is better in correlation to his respective league than Romo or Aikman. I really don't like Aikman. Everybody knows I don't like Aikman. Troy Aikman, bad quarterback. Not bad, but
you think Troy Aikman's a good quarterback? He's not good.
no, bro. He is Kirk Cousins who got blessed by the gods.
All right, Chris, ready? Troy Aikman's here, but you know who's right below him?
Oh, Fran Tarkenton.
Dude, not Fran Tarkenton, bro.
T.Y. Little.
YT Little, man, he's good. No, Mr. Steeler.
Big
Who,
man.
Terry Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw, dude.
No, that's
like,
Terry Bradshaw's bad hoops, man. He's
how
bad
did you
hoops.
win? How did you win 4 Super Bowls being the worst ever?
That's like legit. If the early 2000 Ravens pulled off a dynasty with Trent Dilfer, like
We were trying. We were
Dude,
trying.
he's the first quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl and then get like the plug pulled on him the season after.
Dude, bro, Trent Dilfer, bro, he was back there throwing loaves of bread. It was just
Yeah.
like, bro, what is this? If we didn't have demons on defense, the whole defense wasn't
Yeah,
full
if
of
you
demons.
don't have the best defense of all time.
Well, literally, we had a defense full of demons. Like,
Yeah, bro, that was
I know
bad.
we're not talking about the Ravens, but we'll talk about
No,
the
we're
Ravens.
cool. No. We somehow got
Demons.
on this top because we were talking about Dak being, all-time great Dallas QB, which is great territory, by the way. But yeah, let's talk about a franchise opposite of said Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are also slotted at 10.5 wins, which is fair. Wherever you have the Cowboys, I think you should have the Eagles. Now, like I said earlier, the Cowboys, their ads were short, the losses were long. Eagles, kind of a little bit of the same thing. I just want to start with players that were extended: Landon Dickerson, Reed Blankenship, Jordan Mailata, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown. Insanely huge for the offseason that CeeDee Lamb is holding out. Brandon Ayuk needs a new contract. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they got paid, luckily. But AJ is making less money than both of them. And Devontae Smith is making, I think, 25 mil, which is, I think, a complete steal for Devontae Smith. Or it's a good contract for Devontae Smith. Let me not say that. It's not an absolute steal. In a couple years down the road, it's going to look that way.
I gotta say,
and then,
Christian Kirk getting $22 million a year doesn't look too bad now.
it doesn't. It doesn't. At the time, it looked overpaid. You know how I feel about Christian Kirk, Texas A&M legend. But
He's nice, man.
I mean, complete coordinator changes. You get Kellen Moore, who usually every year leads the league in pre-snap motion. That's going to be huge for the Eagles, getting players over the middle. Where Jalen Hurts, believe it or not, does excel at throwing over the middle. It's just a matter of our players actually running their routes there. You got Vic Fangio, who we had Jonathan Gannon a couple years back, who is a Fangio disciple, but, you usually never do it better than the master. And then the guys you add Saquon Barkley. So you add a top 5 running back to a top 5, probably top 3 dual threat quarterback in the NFL. It's just kind of like a pseudo Lamar Henry type of thing. But I think Saquon
brings so much more to the table.
I'm biased towards Saquon, and it's not even an Eagle thing. It's I think I said he was the best running back prospect of all time when he was coming out. So
Chris will tell you, Saquon Barkley at the ripe age of 26, 27, whatever he is brings so much more to the table than a 30-year-old Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry
I would say because Derrick Henry refuses to fall off. Like, he's legit the LeBron James of running backs.
Let me tell you something. No, I'm kidding. You're actually right. I will say this because Derrick Henry has bricks for hands sometimes. Sometimes he just refuses to catch the ball sometimes. And I will say Saquon will catch that pill and he's going to make somebody miss. Now, Derrick Henry may run you over and break your chest in half, which is still very cool. But I think the part about Saquon is that he just brings another aspect. Like you can just do like a quick jet pass to him, or you can do so many other things with him back there, kind of like McCaffrey to an extent.
Yeah, he's CMC like. That's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, he's definitely CMC like.
I was gonna say Henry. Go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
For me, it feels like Howie Roseman was like, "Hey Niners, you got CMC. Guess what? We got the next best thing."
Yeah, I could see that take. Now, the thing with Derrick Henry, why he works so well with the Ravens, though, is because they love to run the ball. I believe they
run
led
power
the league.
football.
Yeah, I think they led the league last year in yards before contact. Tennessee was like nearly dead last in yards before contact at like 0.8 or something like that. But Derrick Henry was like super high up on the charts in yards after contact. So you add lots of yards before contact with a dude who gets a lots of yards after contact, and you get a good recipe for success. The Giants were like a similar situation, or Saquon was a similar situation last year. So I'm very excited to see Saquon Barkley go behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL again. You add linebackers.
They need to put Saquon in for the tush push.
Why?
Put him in a quarterback, dude. Them quads are winning there. Because
why not have him push? Why not have the 700-pound squatter push the 600-pound squatter?
They can rotate.
Why would they rotate? When has Saquon Barkley ever taken a snap under center in his life?
He probably has.
That matters. I hope you know that matters.
Wildcat
and you should know that matters because Justin Fields dropped 2 snaps under center. in his first game.
That was fake. That was fake. That was fake. That was
Wasn't fake.
That was,
Wasn't fake.
That was AI.
Wasn't
Nate,
fake.
That was
That's who
AI.
he
Nate
is.
Herbert.
That's who he is.
Nate Herbert's fault. He snapped it off his butt.
AI center.
What?
center was
So
AI.
when you're snapping under center, man, where the fuck are you supposed to put the ball?
The center
Snapped
was
it off his
ChatGPT.
butt.
You're gonna put it on your ass, and the dude's gonna grab it off his ass.
That's what she said.
He
And
dropped the
also,
ball.
ChatGPT.
He dropped a under center snap. That is your man's.
He
just-
didn't
yo.
drop it. You're watching the wrong game. It's almost like that one dude who tried to tell me some dude who used to play for the Celtics dunked on my glorious King James. It's crazy stuff happening out there, like Justin Fields dropping snaps. It's crazy stuff out there. Don't let this alternate reality fool you. Shazam's not a
I'm
real
not letting.
movie.
I'm
None of
not letting people show up to my house in black SUV vans over Justin fucking Fields.
that. Oh, yes,
LeBron,
you will.
sure. Jason Tatum, whatever. Not Justin Fields. Back to the point. So they add linebackers Devin White, Bryce Huff, who, if you're going to lose Hassan Reddick, Bryce Huff, pretty good replacement. I think fits the system a little bit better.
Dare I say he's better?
I'll see it when I see it. I'm not exactly sure. But I'll see it when I see it. Bryce Huff's it's been a long time coming for him to like truly become that edge rusher 1, maybe tier 2 type of guy. We'll see it when we see it. They get back CJ Gardner-Johnson, one of my favorite defensive backs in the NFL, one of the most versatile, can play safety, can play slot corner, can play box. But I'd be lying if some of these losses didn't hurt. Again, Hassan Reddick's gone. Yeah, you get Bryce Huff back, but Hassan Reddick, super loved by the fans, was a tier 1B to tier 2 edge rusher. You get Olamide Zaccheaus. Cannot exaggerate how big of a loss that is now that we're trying to figure out who's going to be the wide receiver 3, whether it's Paris Campbell, whether it's Johnny Wilson. DeAndre Swift's gone. Good riddance.
Goodbye, buddy. You're
Kevin Byard. We lose Kevin Byard, which is like fine. He wasn't horrible for us, but didn't make like a lot of plays. You kind of cut your losses when you get Gardner Johnson.
He didn't look good. Every snap he played for the Eagles, he was getting fried.
Bradbury was getting fried. He made everyone's else's life harder. But of course, the biggest 2 losses of the offseason, without a doubt, were to retirement. So it's not like you could have traded him. It's not like you lost him to a better deal. You lose Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox. That's tough. And
Fletcher Cox, I will say, he was not doing the most at the end of his career. Kelce was starting and still playing at all-pro level.
He was still better than Jordan Davis, though. And I'm not going to lie, it's more about the vibes. Like Jason Kelce he retired as the best center in football.
Yep.
So to lose that, but more so his leadership and everything. And Jason Kelce was the guy Jason Kelce called out the blitzes. He made the blocking adjustments for Jalen Hurts. Now, obviously, Jalen Hurts is a very smart football player, probably has the hang of it now, but that used to be Kelce's job. Now, luckily, he brought in his own replacement. I know Cam Jurgens is going to come in and be just fine. Is he going to be Jason Kelce out the gate? No. Will he ever be Jason Kelce? Probably not. But I hold him to a high standard. There is a hole at the guard position, whether it's going to be Tyler Steen or Mekhi Beckham, we will see. Luckily, they will have Jurgens or Lane Johnson next to them at any given moment for whatever may happen.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I do think it's kind of crazy. Landon Dickerson could wind up himself playing center if Jurgens goes down.
It's possible. It's very possible.
He's a very good center. We played a lot in college. Eagles drafted him to be the heir to Jason Kelce, and they found another guy in the meantime. So,
yeah. And then they kind of knock it out the park with the draft. Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. All the numbers from last year, I mean, they're top 10 in every EPA offensive category. They're bottom.
What if we only look at the first 11 games? They've got to be top 5.
Well,
right?
then we'd be talking about how they're coming off a Super Bowl victory because I was convinced they were winning it.
Dude, when the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Buffalo Bills in the Kelly Green jerseys, in the rain,
in the rain,
in overtime,
dude,
and Jalen Hurts,
and that capped off a 3-game win streak against Kansas City, Dallas, Buffalo, with the Kansas City game being in Kansas City. Like, I don't know. But anyway, here, Chris, I want to get to you first. Eagles line is 10.5. Now last year they won 11 games.
11 games.
Starting 10-1 and winning 11 games is pretty nuts. But can you look past the disastrous last
December.
part of the season for the Eagles, December, January? Um, can they get over that 10.5 wins?
Um, I'll say yeah. And I think it's just off the simple fact, talent just wins out most times, in my opinion. And I think the Eagles are a very, very talented team across all three phases of football. I think they're very, very talented. And I think too that they'll have, I wouldn't even say something to prove because we know the Eagles are a good team, but like I think they'll want to prove that like that falling off at the end of last year was just a fluke and not like something moving forward. So I think they'll come out focused and stay focused. And I think the Jason Kelsey loss is the biggest in my opinion. Because I know Fletcher Cox was a big loss too, but having Jordan Davis and guys like that there, I think they'll grow into and be better. But I think this will be Hurts time to really turn up, like really just be like the guy, like you said, he's gonna be probably calling out more blitzes that Kelsey's gone now and just doing more things. I think it's gonna be the time for Jalen Hurts to really quiet all the talk that it was just a couple good years and all that crap. And I think it's going to be time. So I think, especially with the Cowboys looking a little shaky as of today, like with not knowing a lot of certainty, I think the Eagles take advantage. I think they can win 11 to 12 games. So I'll give them the over.
Yeah, I'm with Chris here. I think that the Eagles win 12 games. I think it's sure over. Uh, I think that they have the biggest talent gap in the division. I think that their talent is unmatched. I think that their D line with Sweat and Huff and Davis and Jalen Carter was renowned as the best player in the draft. People forget that. And you go and add three guys to position in cornerback that you lacked, and then your linebackers, you go get Devin White isn't the best linebacker in the NFL, but he can sure tackle and he can sure run sideline to sideline. That's one thing that he can do.
Yeah.
And they're upgrading in spots where when you watch the Eagles last year, it was a glaring issue. And I think some teams don't do that from a year-to-year basis. It takes them a couple years to do that. And it seems like Howie Roseman never rebuilds, he always retools. So it's always successful when he does that. And I really have the Eagles winning 12 games in the division this year.
Yeah, so actually think 10.5 is a pretty good line for the Eagles because like I said earlier, like the Cowboys are a Dak or a CD Lamb injury away from not even being close to 10.5 wins. It's kind of goes same for the Eagles. If Jalen Hurts gets hurt, we're rolling out Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee, and that's Danny's face says it all. That's bad football. And believe it or not, if AJ or Devontae Smith get hurt, like the Eagles are not deep in that wide receiver room. Like
Man,
you're gonna,
Dallas Goedert playing wide receiver. If that happens.
yeah, like you're gonna have Dallas Goedert wide receiver 2, and Johnny Wilson's gonna be getting more reps. He's a baller. I'm only been
Y'all
hearing
playing
great things,
basketball at
but
that point.
yeah, like we're gonna have to be serious. Um, However, the things I do look forward to with this Eagles team is AJ Brown, Devontae Smith getting a lot more slot reps, um, pre-snap motion things, more routes over the middle, drags, digs, even spot ups over the middle, just for Hurts to dump it off, and then I mean, his knee looks cleaned up in the practice and, joint practice clips I've been seeing. Hurts looks a lot faster. So I can only imagine what the read option RPO game is going to look like between him and Saquon Barkley. I'm super excited for this team. I will say they are shallow though. They're
For sure.
they're injury away from like breaking down to put it that way. And then on the defensive end, Slay just has to give me one more good year because I think Quinion Mitchell is really up next. I did look, and Danny knows more than anybody. I prefer Nate Wiggins. I prefer Terry and Arnold. But if Quinion Mitchell is going to bring what I've seen in practice to the NFL in his first year, I have no doubt that he could take over as cornerback 1 in year 2. So I just need Slay to give me a good year. Whoever's at the other corner, whether it's been the physical Keely Ringo or Isaiah Rogers, or Quinion Mitchell, and then the safeties are going to hold. I have no questions about Reed Blankenship. I have no questions about C.J. Gardner-Johnson outside of health. Cooper DeJean, I'd prefer him to get more safety reps than corner reps. I don't think he quite has the quick hips to be an NFL level corner, at least like a high level one. Especially when we have guys that have quicker hips and are a little bit better with that. Not to say that Cooper can't play on this defense, though. He's a baller. He's very physical. And then, like Danny said, I'm not a big fan of Devin White. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's great in coverage. But when it comes to running sideline to sideline, we didn't even have that last year. Like, we thought Shaq Leonard was going to come in and do that for us, and he wasn't even close. He couldn't tackle nobody. We brought him in, and like our defense just got worse. It makes no sense. But I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this Eagles team. Will I pick them to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? I'm not quite sure on that yet. As of right now, I'm going to say no because they do need to earn a little bit of my trust back. Yeah, I'm big fans of Kellen Moore, big fans of Vic Fangio, not a big fan of Brian Johnson, wasn't a big fan of Matt Patricia / Joe Desai.
Nobody was.
But I at the end of the day, I still have to see it, if that makes sense. You know, I can't just assume everything's fine and dandy now. I also will say, if we win 11 games, you know, let's say we make playoffs, we have a great season. If Bill Belichick wants to come coach, Nick Sirianni can kick rocks. I don't care how good the season went. If Bill Belichick wants to come coach my Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni can go start working at Ish Kabibbles for all I care.
Say,
Not like he
Eagles
does
start-
anything anyway. So
say the Eagles start 2-3. Bill Belichick coming in.
yes, Lord. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And then we're going to start a trend. Jalen Hurts is going to wear a cutoff hoodie under his jersey during games.
What is he, a college football player in the game of college football? Is he going to start wearing his pads rolled up too? So he shows his abs?
Yeah, that's horrible, man. But that is all right. That's enough Eagles glaze. I'm sorry if y'all thought I was being biased. Please, again, take it with a grain of salt. But every other segment take very seriously because I take this passionately. Let's talk about the New York Giants additions.
You mean New Jersey Giants?
New Jersey Giants. Apologies. Additions: linebacker Brian Burns, offensive lineman John Runyon, wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie, defensive back Jalen Mills, running back Devin Singletary, offensive line Jermaine Illuminari. And then losses, obviously, we talked about Saquon, Sterling Shepard, Paris Campbell, Xavier McKinney, huge loss. And then quarterback Tyrod Taylor, also a huge loss. Only team in the league where Tyrod Taylor would be a huge loss. I mean, I guess the big thing with them is that they nailed the 6th overall pick with Malik Neighbors. They love him. They love him. Now, I don't know how much he's going to do in year one. He might have a case of not his fault due to who's at quarterback. My God, is Daniel Jones bad at football, guys? Is man?
Yes.
I can't believe he got a second contract. I truly can't believe it. He gave him $40 million to be bad. I don't know, man.
Brother couldn't go 4 minutes of my time.
I do want to look at things on the bright side though, because I just can't look past Daniel Jones. But and it's not like their backup quarterback situation's any better. I mean, like Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in your roster, and that is a problem. And he's making the most money, so you kind of got to play him. And you lost Saquon because of that, so now you got to see, like, can Daniel Jones run an offense without Saquon? Danny, what do you think for the Giants? Let's try to be a little more positive with the Giants. At least highlights from their stats last year. They were wow.
It's not much highlights, dude.
Their defense was 12th in drop back EPA.
They got to the passer. They got to the passer as a defense, and they went and added Brian Burns, who does that really well. Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns is a very, very, very
with Dexter Lawrence on the inside. Look, we're talking to ourselves here. We're talking ourselves into it. Let's keep going.
We're talking myself into it. Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, Malik Neighbors. Wow, it's almost like you're Shadur Sanders away from being competitive.
I don't want Shadur in my division.
Well, good luck, because 2 teams are going to be gunning for him.
All right. I trust the Giants. They'll draft Cam Ewers, and everything will be okay.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Howie Roseman gunning for Shadur, and then he's going to go train him to the QB factory.
Please don't. I don't need that QB factory bullshit anymore. Please, please. We're gonna end up drafting Shadur Sanders.
You're gonna
And
want to draft Travis Hunter and put him at running back.
we'll draft Travis Hunter and he can play wherever he wants. Back to the Giants though. The way you just said that defensive line, you're kind of talking to me. That's a good line. That's a top tier unit. I'm not gonna lie.
No, dare I say,
Dexter.
that is a top 3 defensive line in the NFL.
Them and the next team we'll talk about, of course. But yeah, that's a good unit. That's a good unit. That secondary's kind of blows, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Dane Belton is one of your best DBs.
Yeah, and you lose Xavier McKinney, which is kind of huge. I wish the Eagles drafted him in 2020, man. But we drafted Jalen Hurts instead.
Xavier McKinney, one of the he was quietly one of the best safeties in the NFL.
That's true. He goes to the Packers, who desperately needed a safety.
Who desperately need defense. Yep.
Back to this Giants offense real quick. Okay, so Daniel Jones has gotten the doesn't have weapons allegations his entire career, according to Giants fans. Just going to play, I'm going to play into it. They watch more Giants football than me. Let's act like Daniel Jones hasn't had weapons the entire year, and that's why he sucks. Then this is make or break it. You have your first-round pick wide receiver, who's already the best player on your offense. You have Jalen Hyatt, who had a pretty solid year last year, according to Giants fans, and just the numbers. He was pretty solid. You have Wan'Dale Robinson, who gets high praise around the league, one of the best route runners in the NFL, just has to stay healthy. So you have those 3 guys.
Very explosive.
Exactly. You have those 3 guys. Devin Singletary, running back, isn't like incredibly strong. I don't want to act like that's a good signing or anything.
It's almost like they're Kadarius Toney catching a few balls away from actually being good.
Well, you're asking for. Didn't they get a first-round pick for Kadarius Toney? Like a third
No,
round
they got a 4th-round pick or something like that.
No, I'm pretty sure they got a day 1 or 2 pick for Kadarius Toney.
Maybe a late day 2 pick. No way it's in the first 2.
Getting anything for him is insane because he's not an NFL player. So
apparently the Chiefs got him taking running back snaps, but
yeah. So Giants, good trade. You won the trade.
Welcome to Shanghai, Kadarius.
But as for 6.5 wins, that is a great line. Do I think a healthy Daniel Jones with this receiving crew and that defensive line to
Give me
probably 7. Give you 7. Man.
So I think people forget.
Can we do Chris? What do you think? Chris, you might make or break my opinion
here. 4 wins. Daniel Jones not good at football. Malik Neighbors very good at football. I do like the defensive line. Don't like Daniel Jones, the quarterback. And I think a lot of times you go as far as your quarterback goes, unless you're the 49ers. And Brock Purdy is solid as well. That wasn't even a shot at Purdy, but just like you're gonna go with that. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. I like Daboll as a quarterback. I mean, as a coach, I like him as an offensive coordinator. I think that he brings a lot of fire, a lot of swag, a lot of firepower. I think he's a good coach for this New York team. I think a lot of people forget that they won a playoff game and they ran into the Philadelphia Eagles the year they went to the Super Bowl. That was their ceiling. That was how good the Giants were. I mean, they beat a fraudulent Vikings team, but the Giants were on the verge of not on the verge. They didn't have a chance against the Eagles, but
no,
the
Giants.
I
would say that Giants playoff game. That was the worst playoff team of all time. They won, I believe, 9 single possession games. Not replicable. Not at all.
I think this team is much better than that team.
No, that defense was a lot better. That offensive line and the run game was a lot better. And plus you had, a Daniel Jones who wasn't turning the ball over because you didn't really give it, let him turn the ball over, I guess you could say. That team wasn't good. Like, it's just a matter of, it's kind of like the Vikings that same year. It's a matter of winning the one possession cheese.
Isaiah Hodgins is their best receiver.
Shout out to him. Good NFL player. Yeah. I don't think. I'm going under. They have on this this schedule: Browns, Cowboys twice, obviously. Eagles twice, obviously. That's 5 of their games. Seahawks, Bengals, Steelers, Buccaneers, Ravens, Colts. Those are the guys I think that's just like for sure beating them. You got the Saints, Falcons.
Dude, the Falcons might win.
Yeah, they will win. They will. The Falcons will beat the Giants. I'm for sure going under. I don't like them in a lot of these games. And that's not like the correct way to gauge a football team. But like if I'm already having my doubts, I think I'm gonna go under. But again,
Dude,
there's reasons to be happy though. There are reasons to be happy. Daniel Jones sucks. He's out. If he plays good, you got a young receiver core. Maybe you're cooking. But again, if he sucks, yeah, we can move on. We can draft Shador Sanders. You can draft Shador Sanders. You can draft Carson Beck. Look, the future is bright.
You can draft Carson Beck and get another Daniel Jones.
Draft up Jalen Milroe.
Oh, come on, man. No, Carson Beck is nothing like Daniel.
I'm trolling. I'm literally trolling. I don't know much about Carson Beck as a quarterback outside of.
He's like Jared Goff, man.
Yeah, he's solid.
Carson Beck's pretty dope. He's pretty dope. He's a cool guy. You know,
92 on NCAA 25, so he's got to be okay.
No. He's real good. I don't. He's not like the CJ Strauss and Caleb Williams college passers of the world. What? Maybe he is this year. I don't know. I think he's better than Stetson Bennett. That's for sure.
I seen Stetson Bennett playing was the Chargers the other day, and he kept going to the wrong team.
He was playing he was playing for the Rams, and he's playing the Cowboys.
Rams.
Yeah. And he kept throwing it to the wrong team.
Then he threw a game-winning touchdown. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's pretty nuts for that. But yeah, all pretty low on the Giants except Danny, who believes in the one-score cheese. But we can move to our final team, the Washington Commanders, who I have noted down here as the Washington Commies. But they're also at 6.5.
I hate this team. I think they stink. Mr. Retirement Top Squad, Mr. Austin Eckler and Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. Dude, you're signing players that were in Madden 15. Like,
okay.
Madden 2025. Madden 25, man. We were in Madden 2025. These players were in Madden 25 with Adrian Peterson in the cover. We are not trying to hear Austin Eckler or Bobby Wagner or Zach Ertz in 2024. Like LeBron, yeah, he's crazy because he played in the Olympics this year. These guys literally were toddlers when LeBron. So no, I'm kidding. But no, this Commanders team is not good. They have one upside, and it's Jaden Daniels. But I will say I have one person on my All-Agenda team, and it's Brian Robinson, because I think he is a really, really, really good running back. And Terry McLaurin, he's a solid receiver, but beyond that, they don't got much.
Okay,
their corners,
they
not good.
They have probably the best two defensive tackles, not two, like the best defensive tackle duo in the NFL with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. That's at least something to look at. They have Dante Fowler as well, Durance Armstrong, Cleveland Farrell, whatever. But you have those guys on the defensive line. You have your linebacker is going to be Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, two guys who can get sideline to sideline. I love Louvu. I think he's better than Wagner.
I like Louvu. I think Louvu.
Yeah, you like Louvu. But like you said with Devin White, look, Bobby Wagner can't cover nothing. But one thing he's going to do is tackle. One thing he's going to get sideline to sideline. He's going to read the play. He's going to be the brains of that defense.
I sure hope so. He's like 33.
That secondary sucks. That secondary sucks. Plain and simple. They were 32nd in dropback EPA per play, 30th in dropback success rate, and just 32nd in defensive EPA last year. Bad defense. But those are some guys that you can probably bounce on. This is probably going to be a much stronger run defense.
They're going to be a fun team for sure.
But they're going to let up a lot of third and longs because they can't guard people. Like, to put it plain and simple, they can't guard people. So
watch the Eagle. All I gotta say is go back and watch Eagles Commanders. AJ Brown was uncoverable. He's not. I know AJ Brown's hard to cover. It's not saying much, but
But
he
it was
literally.
to a different extent that
It
day.
was to a different extent. Like Emmanuel Ford was not within 10 yards.
Like
Of
the most notable name in the secondary is Jeremy Chin. Yeah, man, I'm good. That's a bad unit.
5 years ago, Jeremy Chin was like, yo, he's gonna be really good safety. Come on, man.
Yeah, I will say on the offensive line though, they did upgrade a little bit. They got Tyler Biadazi. They got Nick Allegretti to fill some of those holes. Lost Cam Curl at safety, who, if you lost anybody in that secondary, I don't care. Biggest loss, I think, is Curtis Samuel. Was a solid wide receiver 2 for them, who's the name we were supposed to be referring to last week. Known above average NFL wide receiver, Curtis Samuel. But I mean, like, when it comes to the draft, though, I'm looking at their draft today, and I'm just like, man, I kind of like it. Again, I wasn't a big fan of Jaden Daniels at 2, but if you got a guy, you believe in your guy, you draft him. So
Learn about Ben Sinnott right now.
we're going to get to Ben Sinnott, who should have been future Eagle, but the Commanders took our pick. So defensive tackle Jerzon Newton for the Fighting Illini was a great pick in the second round. Again, they have a string of second and third round picks here. You defensive back Mike Sanaristo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Samerstill.
Sanaristo. There you go. And
Good.
Ben Sinnott, like you said, at tight end, who's going to be a Zach Ertz disciple. Maybe
No,
that's cooking.
No, Ben Sinnott better start. He's better than Zach Ertz in the big 2024.
And then they got Braden Coleman, offensive lineman, at the 67th pick. At the 100th pick, they drafted known Nepo baby Luke McCaffrey. I'm not going to lie.
He's nice. They're saying he's starting. They said he's one of the only receivers to be a lock to make the team.
Where they really nailed the draft is the only 5th round pick I'm going to mention today. Temple linebacker Jordan McGee. That dude balls. And okay. This is the most bias you're getting out of me. Forget the 20-minute Eagle segment we just had. That dude is a baller. He was by far the best player on Temple. He had no business being at our school. God bless him that he decided to go to Temple University because, man, bro, we just had no business being on a football field without him. He's so good. I'm pretty sure he went like a pick after Rattler. Dude, that 5-minute span was like the best of my life. My favorite quarterback got drafted. I'm going to tell my kids I knew Jordan McGee, actually. I'm going to let you guys know I had a class with him. I have no clue what he does with him. For sure, but he invited me to, like, the bangers and stuff. Like,
yo, can you FaceTime
him? Can I FaceTime? Of course. Like, you can FaceTime Elon Musk. Danny said that he could FaceTime Elon Musk because they both went to Penn. I'm like, okay, man.
It was an inside joke. Like back freshman year.
Yeah, dude, that's a classic though. That's a classic. You weren't even at Penn yet. That's a classic.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, Jordan McGee is going to change the complete culture of this team. He's going to bring this tough Philly attitude. Gonna take Bobby Wagner's spot probably halfway through the year if I had to bet. I hope he makes the team. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I mean, there's some upside in like that front seven. Offensive line isn't strong. Luckily, Jaden Daniels isn't a statue. He can move. You got Terry McLaurin. You got Nepo baby Luke McCaffrey. You have Jahan Dotson, Penn State legend, we're waiting for the breakout. One day, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I have under the 6.5 wins, which is if they were to get over this mark, you're so ahead of schedule. And it probably shows that Jaden Daniels has adjusted to the NFL like a former 5th-year LSU quarterback. But yeah, I was like, let's swing to Chris because Jaden Daniels is his guy. So
I'm going under.
What are your thoughts on you're on? Okay, we're both going under. Keep it short and simple. But yeah, Chris, what are you thinking? What are the expectations for Jaden Daniels Washington Commies this year?
Hold your headphones, Danny. Hold your jersey tone. It's coming. Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud year is on the way. Not saying he's going to play as great. He's not going to have his crazy numbers. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. But what I am saying is that the guy who went second is going to play great. And I think he's going to elevate the offense that they have now. Like just the people they have in place. I think Jahan Dotson is rapping on that Rashad Bateman type beat. This is his year to break out. no matter what age it is. This is his breakout year right now, and it's under Jaden Daniels' reign. No, but really, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan, and I think if he can be as explosive as I think he can be with his legs, I think they can get 7 wins. I think they're a better football team than the Giants, and I think the Giants are going to go under at about 5. I said 4, but really, like realistically, 5 to 6. I think the Commanders could get 7. I don't think they're going to get 9 or 10 or crazy like that. But I think they'll get 7 or 8. And I think Jay Daniels surprise a couple people and be a little more, like you said, Tone, a little more ready for the NFL than people may have thought coming out the draft, just with how he played at LSU and just taking so many hits and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a fan, and I think this is going to be pretty good. I've watched more on Eckler now since that one play. I think you sent it to me on Twitter where he was running literally in sand, and I've never seen a running back run that slow, bro. I've never seen that. But I will say, Brian Robinson, I'm a big fan too. So I think he plays well this year, hopefully, and I think the Commanders can get 7 wins under my boy Daniels.
So best thing I ever seen was he got shot, and then they played out
Mini Man.
They played many men after walking out.
Yeah,
that is aura. That is aura.
Well, I would say the only way that Eckler and Robinson find to be like truly effective this year is if the offensive line steps it up, because Brian Robinson is cool, but he's not like a great back, but he's cool. So, and he has aura, so I'll allow it.
Eckler,
I would say Eckler, you should be in Shanghai. You should be learning NFL Europe, but where I think Eckler and Ertz as well, because they're so experienced, they're going to help out Jane Daniels a lot in, check down situations, spot up situations. Like, they're going to become his best friends very fast, and it's going to help him adapt to the NFL game a lot quicker.
Over under games Marcus Mariota starts because Jaden Daniels has a Looney Tunes-esque injury.
You know what? I'm gonna go like 1, maybe. I'll go like 1. Like maybe Jaden Daniels, just like the offensive line still isn't perfect, so like he's probably gonna have he's gonna take some bad sacks or whatever.
I don't know how much you watch of Jaden Daniels. This dude does some of the most idiotic things on a football field you'll ever watch.
I've never seen a quarterback body look like that after hits. Like, dude, like his arm will be straight, both legs will be back. His body.
Dude, have you seen his elbow? Dude, his elbow has this like bone stick out of it.
Oh, it makes sense.
His elbow's freaky. But I will say, if he didn't get hurt then, I probably shouldn't be like, oh, he's gonna get hurt now. But like the hits have to like toll up at some point. But I'm not wishing injury on him, so I'm gonna assume he's not.
I'm definitely not wishing injury on him.
No. I definitely get what you mean. Like, dude, the only person who has a nastier getting destroyed highlight reel is Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford gets his head ripped off every single game.
He's a tough son of a gun. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not running around like Jaden Daniels.
Even he gets hurt. Stafford, and he gets hurt all the time.
Rolls an ankle and plays through it though.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have anything else to say on the communists?
Yes, I do. I did not know that Jaden Daniels' picture was real. I thought it was just somebody who put an action figure like arm on his real arm. I've seen that picture before, but I thought it was fake. That is the most insane thing I've ever seen.
I thought it was just like a glitch, like lens glitch or something.
No, they said it's called bursitis. It's like it's usually what happens when somebody gets hit in the elbow there. But apparently they've been taping his elbow for every game for this injury.
Wow, that's awful. Fuck, I thought that was fake.
Do we have anything else to add on the Commanders? Me and Danny got under. Chris has over, but respectable football team.
My one question for you is: if you put who's better, Jaden Daniels on the Giants or Jaden Daniels, or the Giants for Jaden Daniels, or the Commanders for Jaden Daniels?
Giants with Jaden Daniels.
I'm going with Giants as well.
We kind of talked myself into that front seven of the Commanders. I'm not gonna lie, but offensively, Neighbors, which is Daniel's boy, Jalen Hyatt, Wandale. We're kind of cooking something there. So I think that offense would move me a little bit more.
Devin Singletary,
I think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. So
New York Giants, get ready to learn Jalen Milroe.
Oh yes, get ready to learn souped up Jalen Milroe. I cannot wait, man. I can't wait for Jalen Milroe. I think he's going to turn out to be awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry. I do have to break the news. I do have that Justin Fields take. With the context, what was he, a top 10 pick? Was he the 10th pick or the 11th pick?
12.
He was the 12th pick? Okay. Top 12 pick. We're in year 4. We're on our second team. No second contract. He's a bust.
Nope.
Until further notice, he is
not yet.
Bust.
Until your
I don't
team
want to
cares
hear it not
about
yet.
you,
Until
until your
further
team
note,
cares
bro.
about you like they cared about Caleb Williams, you can't say that. And now if he sucks on the Steelers, if he does suck over here, now that may prove to be bust. If he sucks, like if he plays more like that preseason, then he does suck. He sucks. But
If he doesn't
he
fumble
plays
the ball
well.
in the preseason, it's a different game.
If he plays well on the Steelers, then I will be pushing my agenda that the Bears just did not want him to succeed. They were waiting to get their Patrick Mahomes. I have no disrespect for that. I get it. Save your money. I get it.
The Bears could have
But
Patrick
on the
Mahomes.
Steelers,
They didn't.
That's true. Yeah.
better know it.
Dude's a bust.
Brennan, you hurry up.
There is about one good quarterback in the 2021 class, and it's Lawrence. Wilson
Well, there's
sucks.
there's 0 good quarterbacks in the 2022 class. Some kid. There's one.
Respect Purdy.
There's one.
Purdy.
That's the last one taken. Jaron Hall.
No, that's bad hoops.
And while we were talking about best cornerback rooms, I do want to say respect Marlon Hamstring and the Nate Wiggins. Just want to let you know.
I was saying Diggs and Bland would be one of the best.
No, they're better. They're better than
Humphrey-
that. Marlon Hamstring doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm afraid
doesn't work.
he's washed.
It's fall off the bone like baked chicken. It's about to fall off the bone.
Some great Texas barbecue.
Boy,
Give that thing just one of these, and it just.
I'm telling you, him and Ronnie Stanley's hamstrings and legs. If you shake it good, I know for sure it's something coming off.
That's crazy.
That's what she said as well. Go ahead.
Oh man. Well, that should just about wrap it up for today's episode. Again, I want to remind you, leave a like if you're new to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, leave a like, leave a 5-star review, download the episode if you really enjoyed it. From AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in. Justin Fields is a bust, and we'll catch you guys next week.